DJ in a few days will be doing something that would probably scare a lot of people. And so if you look at his situation and say, oh, pray a prayer of hope, you'd be like, that's out of the question. Explain to everybody who's probably heard your prayer by now and who's just coming upon you and your story, tell them what's going on this weekend and Monday.
Well, like you said, I'm DJ. I'm 21 years old. In the next, 72 hours, I'll be turning myself in at the Pasadena courthouse to be doing a year in jail. And it's been kind of a crazy journey for us to get to this point, but it's also been a blessing because it's been a lot that's been learned, and a lot of situations and people that I've come across that have kind of redirected, my thought process and the way that I look at life to be a lot different. So it's a blessing, and I just pray that my story can help you guys understand a little bit more about not just what's going on with me, but what's going on in the world, and in Pasadena and Altadena and all over LA, and because I'm not the only person with a story. Everybody has it. Everybody has one. But I just pray that mine is able to give you a little bit more insight on what's going on.
Tell us a little bit about your story. Anything that you feel comfortable
Yeah, definitely.
with?
Well, I mean, it kind of all started back when I was 15 years old. I remember I was with my good friend Kyle and my friend Jamari, and we had just went to like a party the other night, and it was like a little gang injunction type party. But what happened there is that we didn't really feel right in what was going on, so we went home. We woke up in the morning, and Jamari got a call saying that our friend Brandon had been shot. And it was kind of like a shock to everybody because, he wasn't really involved like that, especially to be in the situation that he was in. But, it happened and it took us all by surprise. And ever since that tragedy, as most people would call it, my mindset has been a little different. And I mean, I went from kind of being a kid who holds basketballs, and who likes to play on the playground and things like that, to running around the streets and carrying guns and and gangbanging. And it's been quite a journey. But I mean, from 15 to me now being 21, kind of being involved for the past 6 years, it's a lot that's happened and transpired in my life. I ended up catching a case at 20 years old, and it was a grand theft case, and I had no priors, so obviously it went a lot better for me than it could have been. But I ended up spending a couple of days in jail, and I did the conclusion of it was 300 hours of community service plus probation, and literally 2 months, no, literally 1 month after that case was resolved, I caught another case for first-degree residential burglary with a gang enhancement. So I was looking at 11 years in state prison. That was my maximum that they could give me for my offense. And only by the grace of God am I looking at a year, because I was in different courtrooms. I had different DAs, and my attorneys just kept pushing, and they saw something in me at the time that I didn't even see in myself. And they got that gang enhancement removed, and they got that full residential crime removed, down to an attempt, which is grounds for 16 months. But I only ended up getting 12, and it's just crazy because I never thought that I'd be in this situation. I thought I'd be going to state prison. I think God's giving me a second chance, and what I should be doing with that, and what I'm going to do with that is make it a lot better than the first chance, because obviously He sees something in me that, whether or not I see in myself, it's something special. That's why I just feel like the need to share this with you guys. So, any young kids that are looking, or, anybody who's having gang problems, or, trying to figure themselves out, there's a different outlet. You don't have to go down this path, because down this path is prison or in a grave. And I know too many people that are facing state prison time right now, whether it be life in prison to just a couple years. I can go down the list of people, and you just don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person, and I don't want you to be that person. So
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Brandon, being a victim of a drive-by shooting, how, when you look at that, like how did that change you?
It kind of made me. It made me cold-hearted, in a sense. It was a darkness that kind of came out of me. How dare they take an innocent person, from off this earth, when he didn't do anything,
He wasn't involved in gangs.
He wasn't. I mean, he had a brother that was involved in a gang, but
I heard. Is it true that it was his twin? He has a twin brother, and the only thing that really is different is a letter.
Yeah.
It's Brandon and Brendan.
Yeah.
And so he was shot and killed over one letter difference because they made a mistake.
Exactly.
When you think about Brandon, what kind of guy was Brandon?
I mean, the dude was just for life. Like,
He was your friend.
he was my friend. We played on the same traveling basketball team, Team Pasadena, and I promise you, I've never seen him ever mad, ever sad, down in the dumps. He just always had a smile on his face, and to me that was amazing, because I find myself hanging my head or pouting or being angry or upset about certain things, and for me to have the type of life that I had, and for him to have the type of life that he had, it was different. And he just never showed that that pain that I know he was feeling.
He dealt with it in a different way.
Yeah.
But when he did die, it seemed like that set you on a different trajectory.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was kind of like night and day.
Yeah.
And my ability to feel, I felt like, went away.
If you were able, like, if you could look at yourself back then and talk to yourself, what would you say to yourself?
Oh man, I would say you can't let the outcome of life sometimes move you in a certain direction, because a lot of the time we think off impulse, and we just think off, oh man, this is how I'm feeling right now, so I'm gonna go out and do this, do that, without really sitting down and trying, hold on, is this logical?
I think everybody can reflect and like say, yeah, there are things that make me feel a certain way, and then I just go do it. I think everybody feels that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what I'm hearing from you is that you've learned to like reflect.
Yeah, definitely.
And say, and make different decisions.
Definitely.
So we're talking about important people in your life. We got to meet James a few weeks ago. I got to meet James a few weeks ago. Yeah. And talk a little bit about James and what he means to you, just as
a person,
as your guy.
Man, James is he's probably one of the biggest influences I've met in my life, just because he's a reflection of kind of what's happened to this city, good and bad. So he's able to speak on a lot of stuff that he's been through to me, so that I don't, go down the exact same path that he did, or a similar path. And I feel like that's great, because I feel like without him and without my daughter and my girl, that I would literally be sitting in jail for a life sentence right now. But they give me the guidance and the wisdom to be able to look past certain things and understand that that's not exactly the right way to do things. Because James has been was incarcerated for more than 30 years, and he's only 50 something years old.
It's a big chunk of life.
Man.
James tells everybody he's your mentor.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there for you every court date.
Every single court date.
One of the biggest things in addressing the issue of gang violence is having relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing this Pray Purple project, and there's a lot of prayers going around. And one of the apprehensions that I had when this project was just an idea was being frustrated that it's like, oh, we're just going to be praying about stuff and having prayer be like this, I don't know, just activity that doesn't seem to do anything.
Yeah.
But what I really believe is that these prayers are going to help people link up to each other.
Wow.
And this conversation is so important because mentorship, that's just highlighting the need for people to be in each other's lives.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And in a committed way where, if you need someone to talk to, James is there.
Oh yeah.
If you have something going on, James is there. You have someone you can bounce stuff off of.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a need that all people have. Whether you're young or old, you need someone in your life. It's that within gang populations,
mm-hmm.
you have just that need heightened even more.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you think things would change if there would be more people that could, in a trustworthy, reliable way,
mm-hmm.
like build relationships? What would that do to other people?
I think it would be obviously I think it would be successful in a way that it would be less violence, less robberies, less hanging out, and it would be a lot more productivity, because if people care about you like they say they care about you, they're not going to put you in a situation that would harm you or themselves. And I feel like if more people took the initiative to, there's a lot of people that call, themselves big homies or, OGs, and they're not trying to even show the youngsters where they went wrong, and then they're not trying to show them the right way. So I feel like James, he's seen the wrong way and he's seen the right way. So, I'm a man, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do regardless, but it feels like it's his obligation to tell me this is the wrong way. So this is how you get to the right way. So if more people are like that in youngsters' lives, I don't care if you're a Blood, a Crip, a Mexican, MS-13, I don't care who you are. If you have somebody like that in your life who's willing to go to bat for you and let you know how their wrongs affected them and now how their rights are affecting them, then it'll make for a better story for yourself, and you don't have to go through the exact same trials and tribulations.
I think the thing that I've learned is that, we were talking about this, what's the greatest natural resource?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Something you can never get back.
You will never, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when we invest in relationships, we say, I'm going to give you my time.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to give you something I will never get back.
Man.
Because you're worth it.
Man.
And we need more people who make that investment.
Wow.
And I know from hearing your story that that's a vision you have for your life.
Oh yeah.
It's impressive to hear your dreams about your future, to be able to help others from where you're at within your own story.
Definitely.
What's your highest dream for yourself right now?
It's just for me, I'm not a selfish person. I try to look outside myself. So my highest goal for myself wouldn't really be me. It'd just be me being the best dad I could be for my daughter. Because as a father, whether you have a son or a daughter, they look up to you in ways that they don't look up to anybody else. And I have to be a certain example of what to be like, or who to look for when you're looking for a man in your life, or you're looking for, a friendship or a companion. I need to be a great reflection of what that's supposed to look like.
For your daughter.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to be the one that she comes to visit to in prison through the, you know, every day, or in the county through the glass, you know, and that's that. Then I'm gonna allow her to attract that, because this is what the normal looks like. And that's obviously not a message we want to send to our kids.
That's a good dream to have, to be a great dad. I know in the time that you have prior to the sentencing, it had been tough to get a job.
Man. Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about like the struggles that you encountered when you were just literally trying to get a job, and the things that you dealt with.
I mean, it's me. I would go to a lot of different places, whether it be just like certain agencies that can help you get a job, or regular places like Target, or, you know, Rite Aid, just regular places that are, you know, in the city. And the funny thing about it is, I would actually get hired for different jobs, but when they would run my background check, then I would no longer be hired.
Because you'd be flagged.
Because I'd be flagged.
Yeah.
So it sucks to know that I have the ability to be able to do these jobs, and they see that. But my past is haunting me in moving forward, you know, with that. So, you know, I feel like that's a big struggle, not just for me, but for anybody in that situation who has done anything wrong, you know. And people, you know, I think people like to think that, you know, we're supposed to be perfect, and you know, we have no flaws. But, you know, like I was telling Paul earlier, we're not robots. And we're gonna make mistakes, whether it's big ones or little ones. And I feel like it's supposed to be second chances given, you know, for people who are really looking to turn their life around, not just, oh, he has a felony, there's no way I can hire him for this job anymore, he can't do it, or he'll just gonna get in trouble again, so there's no need for him to be here, you know. The
way that people see us, we walk in and we get these labels put on us. You know, what are some of the labels that you felt put on you? I mean, I've
had people, you know, look at me and tell me that they're scared of me when I haven't said a word to them. People who just call me, you know, a crazy gangbanger, you know, with a bunch of tattoos. You know, there's people who look at me and all they see is the bad. You know, they don't try to look and figure out, you know, what it is about me that could potentially be good. You know. And
that is good.
That, you know, that is good. Yeah,
that is good.
It is good. So it's just
how do you wish people saw you?
I mean, everybody, like you said, time is something that can't be given back, and it's the most important thing. I just feel like if people, you know, before they make a judgment on you, they need to, you know, sit down or try to invest some type of time to understand who you are as a person before they just judge you based off of whether it's your skin color, whether it's, you know, your tattoos, or where you live at, or, you know, you gotta allow somebody to be themselves around you for you to give your opinion on them.
They don't know that you love Skittles.
Exactly. I love Skittles, man. Preferably wild berry and tropical. This is like my 5th bag in the past week.
So if you eat bags of Skittles, you're like this guy.
Yeah, you know, how bad can it be? So, yeah.